Sometimes it's just really nice to hear about an experience from someone else's perspective. So, today's podcast episode, I have joining me Buffy Bliss. She is one of the high ticket sales accelerator clients. She recently graduated from the program, and I just wanted to sit down and chat with her. She and I have not talked for gosh, it's been a couple of months, maybe. She's been pretty busy. And so she and I just get a chance to catch up and talk about her experience and what her business looks like today since graduating from the High Ticket Sales Accelerator coaching program. Welcome to the Next Level Sales podcast, where lead generation, sales, spirituality, and business strategy come together to help you live to your greatest potential while building a thriving business and life of your dreams. My name is Jessie Quimby Hearns, and I am so glad you joined me today. It is my most sincere wish that this podcast shines a whole new perspective on what people traditionally think of lead generation and sales, and that it brings you some fresh thoughts about your business, inspires you to approach sales and lead generation in a whole new way, and motivates you to build a life and business beyond your wildest dreams. I am so grateful to have you here with me today. With that, let's get to today's episode. So I think let's start, Buffy, with why don't you tell me what you do, who you help? Because that's a
Well,
great story right there.
yeah, absolutely. My name is Buffy Bliss, and I have the best name ever because I help women, specifically wives, to step into a more blissful life. I share with them how to create the marriage that they truly desire, where they are maybe coming into my program feeling unloved, unappreciated, not having their needs met, maybe not even knowing what their desires are. So really getting in touch with their desire, and then also learning how to receive easily without working on the relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
taking
That's huge.
women,
There's only a few
yeah,
people out there who need that, right?
yeah, unfortunately, it's a lot.
Yeah. So let me ask a question. Like, what was your vision for your business when you started it? Did you have a vision for it? And
Before you, oh girl,
yeah,
I
no, I like when you started this, like, oh, I want to help these women. What was your vision? What did you want your business to look like?
Oh, I have so much vision. I think I'm a very big thinker. I'm a really forward thinking big thinker, big dream person.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Kind of ridiculous. Like I'd like to be the next Oprah, I think, when it comes to just marriage. And I mean marriage in all different facilities. So not really putting any kind of like boundaries around what that looks like, but
Yeah.
just people that want to be together, like learning how to do it. So when I started wanting to have what I would call the Orgasmic Housewife School of Bliss. And I didn't want to only be the only person teaching in my school. I found a world of coaches that all these women supply such beautiful medicine of their own to hand over and guide women that are looking for specific areas of their life.
Yeah.
I wanted to specifically help women who desire to learn how to get and receive easily in their marriage, while I also wanted to be able to provide for like women who need help with their home clearing or decluttering, or women like you who maybe want to branch out and go into their own business instead of maybe being used and abused in whatever work life situation they're in, because
Yep.
that's affecting marriages. Like,
Yep.
and then there would be like a health coach. So, like, something for every area of a woman's life would be my school of bliss. So, that's kind of where I'm going.
That's
But I
very
had
cool.
such big vision and literally no know how to do any of that.
Well, I think that's where most of us start, right? Like, I mean, we are all on the journey of learning when we step into being an entrepreneur, right? And there's holes in what we need to learn. Is we haven't done it before, right?
Yeah.
And the entrepreneurial journey is one that definitely brings lots of learning opportunities for sure. I know that's been my journey. So, yeah, about your learning about yourself and learning about the practical skills that you need to be a business owner.
The practical skills, and I've been a business owner, but
Yep.
I come from a hands-on trade of doing hair.
Yep.
So I had no knowledge of anything technological. I'm way behind on that front. So trying to build a business where I even understood what was necessary or needed to market myself, to handle um, clientele coming in through social media, automations, just all of these things that are basically necessary in order to
Yeah.
have your own business at this time, I didn't know anything.
Yeah. So tell me, when you started your business, what were you doing to get leads, to get clients in this new vision coaching business of helping these women in their marriages? What were you doing?
When I started, I was embarrassingly just kind of emotionally unloading and being very kind of just being very vulnerable and putting myself out there and sharing tips and tricks and just kind of creating, maybe I was building kind of a following or women that like kind of resonated with me as a person.
Yeah.
Because in my business, I knew I didn't want to build my business in the same way I had done previously. I had been successful before and it literally destroyed my life the way that I did it. And I did not want to do that again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I refused to just kind of start, grinding in and building a business. Um, just working really,
Hard
really, really
work.
hard. So
Lots
I
of
just
effort.
kind of
Effort, effort,
started
effort.
yes, I
Yeah.
just kind of started putting myself out there on
Yeah.
social media and kind of seeing who resonated with my message. But I really didn't know, I wasn't really putting a general like call to action. I didn't have a real like package. I didn't really have like something specific. I didn't even really get clear on pricing. There was just this kind of vague, like, I don't think even people even knew what I was doing, except for maybe I looked like I was just emotionally unloading every day.
But the one thing I've always loved about you, Buffy, is that you are just authentically you. I'm like, you don't you do that, and it's such a gift, honestly. Like, a lot of people feel uncomfortable doing that, and you're just you, and it's a beautiful thing. So I think you probably connected with a lot of people in doing that, even though
Yeah,
you didn't have the structure around it. That would be
I
my
did.
guess.
I built
So
a lot of connection for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So how long were you in that phase of your business, so to speak?
2 years of just a
Wow.
lot of writing. I love
Wow.
writing. So
Yeah.
a lot of
And were
kind
you
of
getting clients at during that time? Or were you
I
just
got like
building a community?
I got like a few, but it was
Okay.
mostly building.
Okay.
I wasn't even ready. I think I wasn't feeling confident about my offer either. So I don't think I was really ready to necessarily take on clientele because I wasn't sure what kind of people were going to be interested in what I had to offer.
Mhm.
And I was nervous about like having the kind of people that might drain me
Mhm.
because I was kind of all over the place and not really clear about what my offer really was. So I wasn't really sure if I could handle the kind of clients that wanted me
Yes.
because I
Because
didn't
you
really
didn't have
have
the
a
vision of
specific offer.
yeah. Yeah, gotcha. So when did that offer come to light for you?
That's your work. That's just the
Okay.
first pages that you had us fill out, the first questionnaire.
The
That
dreaded workbook 1.
the dread yeah, the dreaded worksheets.
Oh, it actually pulls out gold, I think. That's what I just think it really gets to the heart of things. So why did you originally join High Ticket Sales Accelerator?
Well, I was ready to step out of my comfort zone. I had gotten the money to be able to invest in someone that I felt could teach me the technical skill, the marketing skill, the organization, and what I needed to be like very professional. And when I saw your ad, which was a very simple video, very just a normal, you're just a very normal person.
Yeah.
My I do feminine energy coaching, but I find a lot of it to be very kind of glossy and perfect. And I'm just very normal.
Yeah.
I want to coach normal women about normal things.
Yep.
I don't believe in a lot of fuss.
Yeah.
I just like things really genuine and authentic, I think. And
Yeah.
I saw that in your ad. You talked about how I wouldn't have to be posting every day. I wouldn't have to be I can't remember. It was just like, you can get a lot of high ticket clients, number 1. So I valued my time.
Yeah.
If I was gonna be coaching women and putting into them, I wanted to be paid well for it because
Yep.
I know what I do is life changing.
Yep.
Like, in their whole entire life will change. So it's worth the money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't know how to have the perceived value of that in my marketing and in my presentation.
And your offer that you said you didn't even really have yet because you couldn't even
Yeah.
really talk about it.
Yeah, it's hard to sell a high ticket offer when you don't have the perceived value. You may know
Yeah.
the value, but you don't the clientele, the customer, the people have to have a perception that the value is there right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just saw that you had everything. It was very genuine, authentic, basic, but I could tell it was automated. And
Yeah.
I want my coaching business to be as easy as possible so I can just focus on the one-on-one time with my clients. The time that I spend with them, I use an app called Boxer, so I'm, like,
Yeah.
with them in their life
Yep.
for 3 to 6 months in intense situations. I need all my energy going toward that person and
Yes.
not toward my marketing and, like,
Yeah.
all this other hoopla all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with
So
women, you get into these long discussions in the DMs, and it's draining. I don't have time for that.
no.
You can waste a
No.
lot of time. I wanted to work smart and not hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely. And I think a lot of people find themselves out there trying a lot of different things
Yeah.
and, grasping like, okay, this didn't seem to work. Let's go this direction now. Okay, that didn't seem to work. Let's go this direction now. Like not really knowing and guessing at what to do. I think that can be, and then, so you're spending a lot of energy and time in that as opposed to really serving people, which is, it's not where you want to be, right?
Yeah, and honestly, Jesse, like I became kind of friends with some coaches that are kind of in my field or area
Yeah.
of expertise, and I saw what they were doing, and I was imagining like how much energy are they spending writing these beautiful things every day, but they're these big long things, posting that multiple times a day, on top of maybe doing a sales call that doesn't go through, on top of messaging women in the DMs. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of an introvert and I seem really energetic, but, like, I'm drained by the time I'm done
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah.
So, I don't have the energy to be doing all of that,
Yeah.
and I don't wanna do that, and I just felt like you had okay, so I'm gonna talk about AI, I'm gonna talk about automation, I'm gonna talk about computers, and I know that's real touchy for some women in the
Yeah.
coaching world, but I that's the way things are going. That's how business is going right now. We can't
And
be afraid of it, it makes our life easy.
yeah, and listen, most people don't love selling. Most people don't love marketing, right? And you need it. It's fundamental to a business if you want clients, right? There's just no getting around it. And so a lot of people dance around it, I think,
Yeah,
and don't really do it. And then, they're spending a lot of time not taking advantage of the tools or the systems that are there to help free up their time. And time is such a valuable resource. Like, who really wants to be spending hours of their day trying to chase down and convince people to buy from them? Not many people. And most customers don't want that to happen to them, right? Like
right.
your people probably don't want you chasing them down and saying, you need me, right?
No,
Yeah.
they're
So
not.
tell me a little bit about the experience for you inside High Ticket Sales Accelerator. It was a fun one for you.
Oh, and what's so funny is I coach women on like slowing down and taking a
Yeah,
slow pace, and you really do have a long period of time. This takes a
yeah,
long time. You
yeah.
said, do you want to have this within the next year? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure it'll take me a year because, girlfriend, I am slow. I have learned that I need a slow pace. And
Yep,
honestly, I really took my time.
you
And I
did.
thought for sure I was behind everyone. When I took my time, I felt way behind, and then near the end there, I was way ahead,
Yeah,
and it was just because I had never rushed. In fact, I redid some of the work over and over just because creatively I wanted to. It just
Yeah.
felt time to shift, and it
I'll
was
tell
really, I'm not gonna lie, the techie stuff was the part that really challenged me as a human being.
Sure.
I needed to grow. I had to really work out those muscles. And now I do things that my husband doesn't know how to do. He's been in
Oh,
IT and computers and web design and all the computer stuff since he was 17 years old. He's 42 now. So the fact that I know how to, you taught me how to do things he doesn't know how to do is pretty remarkable.
yeah. Listen, when I started in this online space, I've said this to many, many times, but like I didn't know what a landing page was. Like I had
Yeah.
no clue. I had like 0 followers on social media. Like I taught myself all of this and I'm not really a techie person. And I want it to work for me and I want how to do it to be as simple as possible.
Yeah.
And it's not always not everything is when you're learning it for the first time simple. So it does take a little bit of time. But then once you know how to do it, it's like lightning that you can actually replicate and do things or set up a new ad. It's like it can happen very easily, very quickly. You don't need anybody else doing it for you. It's actually faster for you to do it than to hire out
Yeah,
somebody else
and
to do it.
honestly, like, it really gave me another creative space since I'm so
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
You gave me, like, more tools to be creative with making, like, videos if I wanted to sell. I
Yep.
could literally just sell my videos, my
Yeah.
teachings, and I have fun putting them together. It's not particularly hard, might take a little time, but,
It's fun,
I'm
right?
being
It's
creative with my
fun.
ads. I have
Yeah.
fun. I like being on video. I
Yeah.
like attention. This
Yeah.
is not a problem for me. Although it was interesting that I thought my video ads would work and it was just wording. Like, you just
Yeah.
had to make all different types and you didn't have to be perfect and you were just kind of like throwing things out there to see what people want. You really helped me get in the space of understanding like what are people needing? What are they looking for? What do they want? Not just what do you want to do,
Yeah.
but what do people need? What do they want?
Yeah. I remember Buffy, because you were sending in your content audits, and I remember you turning in your workbook one because um, your answers were, I could tell that you stepped back and you took your time. You weren't just trying to force your way through it, like, let's get this done, almost like a homework assignment. And the depth to your answers was amazing, beautiful. And so I think that time that you took to step back to really think about that and to dial in who your people were, it allowed you to really hit better on your messaging. And I know your messaging continued to evolve as you went through the program.
Yeah.
But, like, it allowed you to really step into your offer more clearly, like, all of it started to really kinda like the puzzle pieces, it felt like came together because you did give it that time.
Yeah. It really helped me, like, I feel completely confident when I have a new client or a sales call or anything because I'm literally, my ideal client is who I was when I was going through the thing, and
Yeah,
I wish someone would have told me the thing.
yeah, yeah,
It's very simple. Like,
yeah,
I know I can help someone with this issue because I literally went through it.
yeah,
So there's
yeah.
no question in my mind that I know how to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah. I
So
feel like I
it's
feel like
very
like, it's interesting. So, in High Ticket Sales Accelerator, kind of the first little portion of the journey is these workbooks that really help you dive in, dial in your messaging, your offer, your pricing, your person, all of that stuff. So it's kind of a deep dive in that. But then once you launch this machine, it's out there working for you. Like all of a sudden, it feels like to some degree the work stops, right? Like, and you're like,
yeah. Yeah.
what do I
Yeah,
do?
it's like my whole routine kind of changed, and I had to kind of readjust and, like, yeah, have this new routine of, yeah, just talking with people and, getting all of these messages every single day and just kind of keeping track of who, you know, what their issues were, who was really interested in all these applications coming in and kind of really having so many applications that I could vet and not feel pressure like I need to say yes to everyone. It was
Yes.
like, in fact, now I'm a little bit more like, no, I don't deal with that. Like, that's not my expertise, but I also like support them. You taught us everything. Like, you have every video in the world in your program. One of them was like, just remember, you're like supporting them in their journey. So you don't have to be their coach, but you might tell them about a book or another coach.
Yeah.
It's just great customer service.
Well, I feel like you never know when someone like, when you treat somebody well, they're a human being that has a problem on the other end of that
Yeah,
conversation, right?
yeah,
And so, like, you don't wanna waste your time talking to people and giving free coaching away, right? Like,
right.
we as coaches, we
Absolutely.
tend to do that, right? But so you wanna put some boundaries around your time, preserve your time, and but those people, if they have a great interaction with you, if you've touched their life, their heart somehow, they may come back to you 6 months from now or a year from now, and literally, it creates a pipeline of future people for you. It creates a community that you're serving, and,
Absolutely.
like, this is a beautiful thing, right? You're gonna have this huge following. You become the Oprah of the relationship
Yeah.
world from that, right? Because people
Right.
know you and they really appreciate like, I just feel like the online space has become so full of distrust, people having bad experiences. Right, like right
Right.
and left.
Jesse, I wanted to tell you about that. I haven't told you, but I've had so many women tell me that they're used to these automations, but no one talks to them.
Yeah,
Your program is totally different. Like, you have all these videos on how to do your sales calls so you're not coaching, because I did get to sucked into that before. And
yep,
now I have very clear, like, I'm listening.
yep,
Yes,
yep,
I'm there. I'm present, mostly listening, but then also like, hey, this is how the call is going to go. I'm
yeah,
going to tell you about my program, you
yep,
know,
yeah,
and we get all of that in 30 minutes. Like, I
yep,
never really go over.
yep,
But it's just amazing how these people, especially women that are struggling in their marriage and like major issues, have to deal with an automation and never talk to a person. And so I've had so many messages where they're like, "Wow, thank you. You're the only person who's ever actually like I heard your voice.
yes.
Like I can tell that this is not the automation."
No, and people just wanna be seen, people wanna be heard, like, just in life in general, right?
Yeah.
Particularly your niche.
Yeah.
Like, they just need and the fact that you kind of set this agenda and lead a sales conversation, they want that, right? It's not like you're trying to convince them to buy, that's not what the conversation is. It's like, "Let me lead you through how this conversation is gonna go to see if I can help you."
Right.
And they want that.
And they can, they can stop and think about it, but there's only so much to say. Here it is.
Yep,
This is what I do.
yep,
And I'm always encouraging women. It's very low pressure. Like,
yep,
um, we're not making anyone do anything. If it resonates with them and you've told them your spiel and you've given them the value and you've, asked maybe a few questions to confirm that what they need is what you give,
yep,
it's as simple as, they're either gonna decide or they're not, and maybe it's just
yeah,
not the right timing or they don't
yeah.
have the money right at that point, but they've still had a great experience with you. They'll feel confident because you were confident in a
Yeah.
sales call, and if you go too long, it can feel like, yeah, you're gonna be a person who just gets used up and they can take from you, and,
Yes.
like, you lack leadership or confidence in your own ability, or, like, you need the sale, maybe.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
giving them a
Yeah,
lot of
gonna hang in there with them until they buy.
Right. But if
Yeah,
you've got 30 minutes, it's like then they have the impression, "Oh, she's busy already, like, it's up
yeah,
to me. I either want in or I don't."
yeah, and
You
you are
have to
busy.
think about it, and I am busy, yeah.
Yeah, you're busy.
And all of the
Yeah.
email sequencing, by the way, too. The email sequencing is fantastic.
Well, I think, you wanna take advantage of automations, right? Because you don't have time to email people, right? But people are busy too. So, like, when you're in front of them, like,
Yeah,
either through an email or the voice message or some other automated follow-ups that we have in the program, like, you can stay in front of them and it's just a gentle reminder, like, "Hey, I am here. If you wanted to watch this, if you haven't watched it yet, take a look. It might help you right now." And so, like, all of those just work for you, where again, you don't have to do anything other than have conversations with the people who are seeking your help,
Yeah.
right? You can just let it work,
And
right?
I've had great compliments on, like, that my emails feel very, like, genuine. They feel like she wasn't sure if it was an automation or if I had typed the whole thing out.
Yeah,
That's how she felt, and this is a
yeah.
woman who's, like, done a lot of coaching.
Because you're speaking to her, we talk a lot about speaking like the voice in your person's head that they don't want to admit to anybody. And
Right.
I think there's such a
Specific though.
key to that, like the voice that comes to you in the shower.
The shower, that's
The
the one.
shower.
Yep.
I talk about that all the time. And,
Okay.
but that voice is real. That voice is the one that when you can connect with that voice,
Yeah.
you are hitting resonance with your ideal soulmate person, right? Like that's and they want to know more and they trust you
Yeah.
and they feel heard and seen by you, even though you may not have even talked to them yet,
Right.
right?
Yep.
It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it
crazy.
feels like you're putting good out into the world, even if they don't,
Yeah.
like, ever talk to you.
And that's what you wanna do, right? Like, again, if you can make that kind of an impression that you are gonna be on their minds, like, they're thinking about Buffy Bliss, when they are ready for help with their marriage, they're thinking Buffy Bliss, right?
Yeah.
Because she cared about me, she gave me value, she connected with me, she heard me,
It
and I
taught me
feel
something with
taught me something, I feel
the
seen
many
by
trainings.
her, there's
Yes.
no judgment about my relationship, none of that, right? And so you've created a safe space even without meeting them.
Yep.
And that's just huge. It's just huge, I think. Okay, so let's hear about what's going on now. I haven't talked to you for a little while, and I'd love to hear like what's happening. What's happening
Yeah,
for
I
you?
I ended up just, like, not even be able to make it to our Monday group calls because I had clients.
Y-
I think I got, like, 7 clients fairly within the first 2 months. So I
I
was above if you were trying to get 1 client per 200 leads or whatever you would call it, I was way above that.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the truth is, I do post daily on TikTok and
I know.
everywhere. And
Yep.
I just make a video in the morning, like, it
Yep.
doesn't take a long
Yep.
time. That's
Yep.
just to kinda stay relevant, and that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's actually the ad, you know, that it's the same ad. I'm
Yep.
still using the same ad.
Yeah.
And, I actually am only using, like, 1 audience now. It's the same amount of people that are interested, and it just kind of everything shifted to being focused on my people.
Wow. So, if you enrolled like 7 clients in the first couple months, I remember it happened really it was like really happening for you. So that's 3 to 4 a month, which is wonderful. So, like, do you mind sharing like where you
Yeah.
are monthly income wise? Like what's that doing
Yeah.
for you?
So my basic offer is 4,444, but I have, payment plans. So they're
Okay.
all on different payment plans,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, I have some that are doing, like, my big payment plan, it's, like,
Yeah.
4 months. So it's not like I'm just getting that big lump sum,
Yeah.
I'm getting all these payments, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
beautiful too though, right?
yeah,
Recurring
because
income?
I love that
Yeah.
because if I wanna take a month or 2 off, I'll have income just coming in.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't necessarily need the 4,400, like,
Yep.
for each person paid
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
I just never needed that.
Yeah.
So I've set up because I'm the business owner and I've set
Yes.
up payment plans that work for them, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're meeting your clients where they're at.
Yep.
That's great. That's
And that's what I
fantastic. Like
always wanted to do. But
yeah.
I wanted the value to be there. I want them to know that this is valued at this. I'll set up a payment plan for you, but this is the value.
Well, that's fantastic. So it sounds like, and this always makes me happy, that you have well more than recouped your initial investment in the program.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And let me ask about like your vision going forward from here, where you are right now, because
Oh,
kind of like a recent graduate of the program. So very recent graduate. Like, what do you see this doing for you kind of moving out months from here, a year from now, whatever?
I am paying getting a marketing person to pay, I'm just gonna start paying her to handle, like, really help me with my social media and marketing and podcasting because I just hate all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jesse, I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
the tech stuff. I'm
Yeah.
very creative and I like the personal and I want to focus on my clients.
Yep.
I was really nervous to even have more than 1 or 2 clients a month. I don't know if you remember that, but my
Yeah.
only goal was like 1 or 2. So
Yeah.
I'm managing 7
That's
right
awesome.
now,
That's
and it's
awesome.
very easy.
Yeah.
It's not hard,
Yeah.
and I feel the capacity to double that or triple that. My husband and I are looking at moving to Las Vegas right now.
Wow.
It's really opened up our whole world, and, like, I'm, like, setting up, plans for, like, Ireland and just travel. Those are the things that I wanna do,
Yeah.
those are my reasons for my own personal reasons for doing this, not only helping people, but what my desires are, the
Sure,
kinda
of
life I
course.
wanna build.
You're in business for
Yeah,
you ultimately. I mean, yes, you're here
yeah,
to help other people, right? They go together, but like your
yeah,
dreams, what you want from your life, this is your life. It's your business, Buffy. So, right, you create it as it works best for you. How big you want it, whatever size you want it, it's for you, right? I
yeah,
think the
and just investing in you helped me to see, like, how I wanna build my business is I don't wanna keep growing and then have to put out fires because I don't know how to handle the
yeah,
success.
yeah,
I wanna build it with these things in order and invest the money so
yeah.
that I can double all of my profits and just pay those people, and so that I can just focus on what I love to do, which is be one-on-one
And
with
ultimately,
people.
I think the shift from building the system, like the
Yeah,
machine, you
yeah,
shift into that creative mode, right? Like after you build the machine, you move into the creative mode where you can start to test things. So this is like you doing social media. Like
yeah,
whatever you love
yeah,
to do, you go
yep,
do to support your business, right? So, like, and now it's a chance, like, if you wanna layer in a different offer that takes less of your
yeah.
time, like a lower dollar thing or something that creates retention with your current clients afterwards, like, the possibilities are endless. It's just your creative thoughts that go behind it and putting it together and applying it to
I'm
this whole
going
thing.
into speaking for sure.
Oh, you should.
I so I can go into groups and
Yeah.
it's about, like, having an event,
Oh,
I don't
so
think
fun.
I think I'm just made for being in, like, in front of people.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that, Buffy. Oh, that's so fun. All right, so if I could ask you, like, if you had like 3 big takeaways from working inside of High Ticket Sales Accelerator, what would they be?
Hmm. Not I guess you're being really, really specific about who your person is will help you, and I know that seems counterintuitive, like, "Oh, I wanna help everybody," but really, like, honing in on your type of person is much more abundant in thinking
Yeah.
that there's going to be plenty of people that are exactly in the space where they need you. Like,
And that
that's
doesn't
abundant thinking.
yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean like, I know a lot of coaches out there talk about, narrow your niche, narrow your niche. It doesn't necessarily mean that though, does it? It means really like
Oh,
more knowing who your person is and
who your
speaking to
person is, yeah.
yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
that's a
what
different
phase
thing.
they're in,
Yes,
they're needing what you offer specifically.
yes. Because to some degree, I've seen clients who've been able to make their niche bigger because they've identified the problem so well. The
Yes.
group of people who have that problem is bigger than their original niche.
Yes, because I was specifically thinking about Christians, and I actually opened
Yes,
up to everyone
yes,
because and I was open to that, but I had
yeah,
started with kind of narrowing down. We
yep,
started that way,
yep,
and then
yep,
I really opened it up, and I'm glad I did because it's kind of half and half that I'm working with.
yeah,
And that's what I really wanted in the first place. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Niching can be a disservice to some degree, right? You're
Yeah.
right. You can't speak generally because then you speak to no one. But
Mhm.
you really need to know who your person is. Like what's the problem that
Yeah.
that problem in the shower.
Yeah. When I narrowed down that basically I speak to the
Yeah,
martyr, every woman,
yeah,
that's so
That
many women.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It got
yeah,
really specific. I'm
yep,
almost always talking to the woman who martyrs herself.
yeah. That
Yeah.
makes yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so
Oh,
that's one of them.
the
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask for a couple more.
Yes.
Curious,
What
good
was
feedback for
what
me.
was the question? I forgot. I'm all over the
What
place.
3 like, if you got 3 takeaways. So the first was your people.
Yeah. Um, Man, there's so many to take away from your specific program. Oh man, there's so many. How do I it's almost hard to organize in my mind. Um, Kind of building the foundation is worth the time and effort
Yeah,
because then, yeah, it becomes very easy.
yeah.
Instead of, there's almost a way to like self sabotage by being go with the flow, which is almost a way to just like not really be committed
Mhm, mhm.
exactly. And you're
Yeah,
actually working a lot harder. But
yeah.
taking the time to kind of focus in and honor your own like vision
Mhm.
and really learn new things to put in place that are just going to make your life easier in the end.
Yeah.
Really, to me, was a way of like stepping into your own worth and that like you really do believe in your own business even
Yes.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, you don't have to be pushy. It doesn't have to be pushy.
No,
It doesn't feel
no,
pushy.
no.
Yeah.
Just
I've
easy.
been
It
in
it
sales
kinda
since I
flows.
was 17 years old.
Yeah,
And I've hated every minute of it. I've never enjoyed selling, and I've said that a million times.
yeah,
If I could do anything, it would be sales by education. I
yeah,
love teaching.
yeah.
And that's so much of what your mini training and what you did in the program was allow people to hear your knowledge, and they either want that or they don't. It's very easy
Without giving away your coaching,
without giving away the
because
coaching.
then they will think they can go do it themselves, right?
They
There's that
start Googling.
line. Yeah,
Yes.
that line, right?
Yep. How
Yeah,
to say what you know in a more kind of mysterious way without the exact, especially with my work,
yeah,
because my work is so not just informational. It's
yes,
body work, it's
yes.
spiritual work, it's emotional work. You can't do that by reading a book or watching a video.
No, I think it really comes down to opening up people's perspectives, like shifting it's like a light bulb moment, really, where
Yeah.
you're like, "Okay, I hadn't really thought about that before, and this is coming at me maybe from a different angle than I ever thought, so I wanna know more."
It's awareness. It's you're
Yeah,
opening them up to become more aware,
yeah,
but you're not teaching them how.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're just like, "You have this problem. This is
Well
why you have this problem.
yeah, yeah,
Here's the answer,"
yeah,
kind of, but not like,
yeah.
it's more than that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. I feel like what I see so often is that, like, there's just a whole like, as you walk along the path of putting all this together, moving into the stage where you're at now, there's this real clarity on how to talk about all of it to your people. Like, it all just kinda melds together. So, like, you know how to speak what they need
Yeah,
and you carry that conversation right from the minute that you kinda get out in front of them, it helps you get seen by them, and all the way through to any sort of sales conversation that you have with them, like,
yeah,
the same kinda language is used, the same
yep. It's very, like, cohesive. Yeah, it's
yeah,
the
and so it
same
really builds your
feel.
confidence, like, you can speak with such conviction to what you're talking about then because it's so clear, the value of it is so clear to you and
Yeah,
so clear to them.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, the way you help us to just, like, clarify our offer and make sure that offer is just very. It's just right there to give when anybody is interested in what you're saying, because 'cause you're just saying what you always say in a different way all the
yeah.
time.
Yep,
It's
yep,
but this it's the same thing you're always saying,
yeah.
but not having something to, like, give to the person so that they can step forward is just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. Like, I just love how you are helping women. I love how you're helping relationships. I mean, like, I know This is putting so much good out into the world
Yeah.
for families, for relationships. Um, like, it gives me goosebumps to think about it right now, Buffy. It's very exciting. Um, I want to ask, please share how anybody can find you,
Yeah.
where they can get in touch with you so they can learn more from you about how they can do this for their relationship.
Yeah, for sure. You can go to orgasmichousewife.com. You can watch my free mini training, and if it resonates with you, you can see right under watching the video, you can apply for my program. You can simply reach out to me on Instagram, which is the Orgasmic Housewife. I'm also on TikTok as Orgasmic Housewife, and I'm on Facebook under Buffy Bliss, as well as the Orgasmic Housewife School of Bliss. That's a it's a group just for women. It's not a private group. It's private in that it's just for women, but that's where I share a lot of like little bits of extra. If I do any extra kind of teaching, it's in my group. So that's a good place to kind of start out and check me out. Over the last 3 years, I have lots of content on there to kind of feel me out.
Yeah.
That's a great place, and Instagram as well. I've been on TikTok a little bit less of time.
Yeah,
So
I know I see you on Instagram all the time.
what I would say is don't Google the orgasmic housewife because that brings up a lot of
Other things?
not me.
Not
So
Buffy.
my lady marketer that I'll be paying will be helping me to shift some of that.
No, that's great. I do see you out on Instagram all the time. I love your posts. And so it's just fun to see you. It's fun to watch you thrive. Like, you're just glowing as I sit here and talk to you. Like, your face is just so happy. And it's so fun to see. Like, it makes me happy to watch you thriving like this. It's just awesome.
Well, it makes me happy to see someone like you who's changed my life. Like, I'm almost like, "Oh, what if I never get to talk to Jesse again?" Like, it's not only, like, your program, like, I feel so connected to you. Like, I feel like you're like a my business mom, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
thank
Like,
you. I love that.
it's or in a spiritual way as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah.
Jesse's program is very, like, connected with your heart and your soul and your spirit and your purpose, and she's just very connected, and I made these great connections with the other women in business, and I
Yeah.
follow them and
Yeah.
support them, and they support me. It's a really beautiful program. It was
I
I
love you
love
guys.
it.
I love you. I mean, I don't take everybody. You guys know that. I want it to be a good fit. I really want it to be a good fit. There's an energy within the group that is really, really important to me.
Yeah.
So, not everybody's a good fit. And, I really preserve and maintain, that, that like-mindedness, people on the same journey who are, you know, going to be a great fit. So anyway,
Got great feedback from other women in the group, gave them feedback. It
yep.
was really fun to be a part of their journey
Yeah.
and just even listening to each
Yeah.
other. Women just get together and kind of vibe off each other just
Yep.
talking and like
Yep.
having creative ideas. It was very energizing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, and that's the journey ahead for you, is just letting that creativity run and let it, build the business of your dreams, because your
Yeah.
foundation's built now. You
Yeah.
got it. You can go change the world, Buffy.
Yeah. Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Yeah.
like Mama Jessie. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I so appreciate it. And, let's just stay in touch, and I'm going to keep an eye out for you. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. All
You have
right.
a blissful day. Keep it
Thank
organic,
you.
Jessie.
Thank you. Thank you, Buffy.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, before you go, if this episode resonates with you, I would absolutely love it if you would follow the podcast and leave a review so we can reach more entrepreneurs just like you who are eager to build a thriving coaching business that lights up their soul, gives them time freedom, and brings them financial abundance without feeling all that resistance and yuck when it comes to lead generation and sales. And if you're interested in knowing more how you can make lead generation and sales easier easier inside your business, check out my free mini course. You'll find the link to that mini course in the episode notes. And if you'd like to get to know me better, see what's going on in my life, hop on over to Instagram.com and follow me at Jessie Q Sales Coaching. Be sure to say hi to me there and let me know you found my podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, my friends. Just know I'm cheering you on to your biggest imaginable business success.